rising here at Empire State Wrestling as we have one of the stars of the business, Josh Alexander. Good Lord, thank you for coming on with us, spending a couple of minutes of your time. 14 years in the business.
Yeah,
good Lord. What got you started in the business?
It was just happenstance. So I never had a dream of being a professional wrestler. And, I never looked at myself in the mirror and said, you know what, you could do this.
Right.
I never even had that self-confidence. But I discovered indie wrestling. I went to a SmackDown show and somebody handed me a leaflet for an indie show, and I was like, this exists outside of WWE. And I was like, no way. So, and that was about 2005. So Google was just kind of catching on and bigger. So I searched it out and I found message boards that then led me to find a wrestling school. So I was just I just want to touch the ropes. I just want to get into a ring and see what it feels like. If it feels like the trampoline I used to backyard wrestle on, or you know what I mean, or a mattress. And I went and took my first bump, and they said I did it perfect the first try, and it was just this boost of self-confidence I never had. Maybe I'm good at this, and I kept going and kept going and kept going, and I was everyone says I kind of took to it naturally, like a fish in water, right? So it feels like it was the only thing I was meant to do, basically.
Man, so was there a wrestler that kind of dragged you in and made you a fan?
Stone Cold Steve Austin. So I watched it as a child with my grandmother. She was a big Macho Man, and Elizabeth. She's the sweet old grandma. Loved the love story thing. Apparently I watched it with her when I was really young, but I fell off. So I had the LJN figures. That was my wrestling knowledge. My King Kong Bundy figure that weighed 15 pounds. You know what I mean? But I lived in the country. I didn't have cable. I was an only child. I was bored. Fat kid. My mom brought me home a magazine one day. It was WWF magazine. It was Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold Steve Austin gearing up for WrestleMania 14.
Yeah.
It was just at the right time. So I remember I read the magazine all the way through, and I rushed to Blockbuster and Jumbo Video and rented every tape they had. WCW, WWE, the best of Bruno Sammartino, which was a real long watch. But I watched everything. So I would credit Stone Cold from that whole first run.
Good Lord. I mean, it just seems like watching you in the ring and whatnot, it just seems like you just go in there and just have a ball and just have fun with it.
Well, I like everything about the actual wrestling portion of the wrestling business. I don't like the wrestling business per se, because that's the travel, the talking to promoters, all this stuff. I don't enjoy that. I actually enjoy wrestling, which is becoming more and more rare, I think, because a lot of people are doing this for the sake of the wrestling business to make money now. They might like it, or they might start out liking it, but their love and passion kind of dwindles, which is unfortunate. Me, I'm as passionate about it now as I was when I started.
Now, you're from the Ontario area.
Yes.
And whatnot. Now, that seems to be a hotbed of pro wrestling nowadays.
It was right when I started wrestling in 2005. We used to have a commission that limited how many shows there were, because you'd have to pay for insurance, pay for licenses and blood tests and all this stuff. And they just dissolved it pretty much the week I started training. And shows popped up everywhere because you didn't have to pay for this insurance. So I remember my first year in wrestling. I started wrestling a month after I started training, and I had 2 shows a week for the first year, every Thursday and Sunday in the same venue. So I had 104 matches in my first year just for those 2. So I had 142 matches or something my first year.
Good Lord. I mean, the wear and tear and everything like that. How do you manage all that?
It's getting harder with age. I was invincible. I was Wolverine until the age of 25, 26, and then now I just got to be smarter and more efficient, you know?